Hey guys, as the title suggests, I've been injured. Yeah, these things happen. I was upset at first, but I'm in a better place. But it happened on Sunday. I damaged my subscapularis doing OAP training. I was doing an isometric hold. I'd warmed up properly. Everything seemed good. And in this bottom position right here is when I suddenly felt this tearing sensation and my arm shot down and I knew I had damaged something. Um, I'm going to break this down into why I think it happened, and you can apply this to your training as well if you're following any of these mistakes. Why I think it happened, my plan going forward, how I'm going to train around it, and just the overall mentality of once you get injured. So, why I think it happened. The program I was running was a high frequency program, and while the relative intensity was low, the tendons and ligaments don't really know that. They just know, oh, this is 300 pounds being applied, you know? So I think that posed a lot of wear and tear on my rotator cuff or subscapularis. And that combined with low pump work, there was really no pump work in the program. It was sets of 2 to 5, nothing really high rep, nothing to flush the muscles out or the tendons out as well. So I think those things together pose a big problem. I'm putting a high demand on the tendons, and I'm not putting any kind of restorative work like pump work back in. And if you don't know, tendons don't get a lot of blood flow, and they take a very long time to recover and adapt. Muscles adapt really quickly. You combine this with a high frequency program, and if you're someone who's neurologically dominant like I am, high frequency programs jack the strength up tremendously, and sometimes they can surpass what your integumentary system can handle. So I messed up, guys. I thought I was Superman and invincible, but I'm not. So my plan going forward. So it should go without saying, I'm going to try and increase blood flow. If tendons don't get much blood flow, and that's why they take so long to heal, the obvious solution is to increase blood flow as much as possible. Get them healing like a muscle would heal. So my first step is pump work. I talked to one of my buddies, and he recommended I do super high reps with a band, something light, just get as much blood in there as possible, and also keep everything nice and supple and flexible. So my first day of injury, I actually immediately started working on blood flow. I did not want to wait for any kind of scar tissue or anything like that to form. I wanted to get right on it right then. I want to recover and get back. Okay. I don't want to be one of these guys that just perpetually tears everything and it never heals. So I was immediately on it. I didn't do anything heavy, but I was trying to get blood in it right off the bat. So originally, I could barely bring my arm past here without a lot of pain. So now I've actually recovered tremendously quickly, and I'm very happy. But now I can do rows of very light. I can do band pull downs. I've been doing these for anywhere between 100, 300 reps in a session. Um, and the second thing besides pump work is increasing nitric oxide. Nitric oxide increases blood circulation, and some of the ways I found to do it are eating raw garlic with vitamin C, drastically increases nitric oxide production. And the second one that I've introduced today is L-citrulline. These two things together should increase just my regular circulating blood flow. And I think that's going to help me heal just in general, but specifically for my injury, I think it's going to speed things up quite nicely. Um, the next thing is nutrients. Obviously, getting blood to the tendon is very important, but it means nothing if I don't have the right building blocks to rebuild it. So basically, I've broken these down into a few things. One is diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth is a little bit of a relatively unknown supplement. Not many people use it, but it has high amounts of silica. Silica has been shown, the tendons are made of silica in some ways, and it also prompts collagen production. So it's no wonder why I have that. Collagen is majorly important for your tendons. The second thing that I'm introducing is Go2 Cola. I got this one from a guy named Divergent Martial Arts. That's his channel. Super knowledgeable guy. Highly recommend you check him out. But I got this idea from him, and it upregulates everything. It's not just for tendons, but it does have a profound effect on micro circulation in the tendons, and it does prompt collagen production. So again, more blood, more nutrients in the area. This one is going to take a while to fully saturate my system and really take an effect. So I'm not relying heavily on this one. I just think long term, in terms of not getting injured anymore or anything like that, this is a huge one to do, especially if you're in a strength sport. Um, the obvious one is collagen plus vitamin C. Studies have shown collagen doesn't really work without the addition of vitamin C. So I'm taking large doses of collagen. I also drink some bone broth here and there. And the last one is more electrolytes. More electrolytes just help the body function, stay hydrated, and that's important for future injury prevention as well. The plan here is I was reading a couple of studies, and that is the tendons have a what do you want to call it? Kind of like a period where they're recovering. So you can hit them in spurts. Okay. So one thing I was doing is when I wake up in the morning, I'll take collagen, diatomaceous earth, go-to cola with a meal, with vitamin C. So what that does is once it's digested after about 60 minutes or so, I should start to have these minerals and nutrients flowing through my blood or circulating. And then I start my pump work. So I'm flooding the muscle with this, increasing nitric oxide, putting the nutrients in it. So I flush it out uh, at once, right? And then 6 hours later, they found you can do it again. You can get another stimulus for growth. So I repeat that same thing. More collagen, more vitamin C, more diatomaceous earth, electrolytes, and I flood the tendon area again. What I've noticed is it has a profound effect. It actually works extremely well. So I'm going to continue doing that. My progress has been absolutely stellar. I almost feel close to where I was. I feel like I feel like I'm maybe about 60% of where I was pre-injury. The next thing that I want to go into is hormones. The major one is going to be HGH. HGH is a huge factor in collagen synthesis and recovery. The two things that I found that have a profound effect on it is fasting and glycine. Glycine has been shown to have a dose-dependent response on HGH. It's an amino acid. It tampers down the nervous system and it does increase HGH. So before bed, I've been taking glycine to help me sleep more deeply and also raise HGH higher so I can recover better. There is some glycine in collagen and some of these other supplements I'm taking, which will also help prompt HGH. So that's a nice little supplement. The heavy hitter that I saw was fasting. I read a lot of different anecdotes and actual studies, and on the study side, you can increase HGH upwards of 300, 500, sometimes 1200% over your baseline from longer periods of fasting. I had read some stories of other guys who had scar tissue. They'd been injured before, and everything was tight, tender, just never healed. They did really long fast, 72 hours. I've seen some 10 days. I don't know if I could make it 10 days, but I am willing to try a 72-hour fast. But these long fasts jack up HGH and autophagy. And the idea is this autophagy will break down the scar tissue and put in the new, fresh collagen so you don't have the scar tissue. Um, Other people said they've been injured, and the first thing they did was they began fasting. I tried it the other day. I did a 36-hour fast. And I have to say, I noticed results right after. The next morning when I woke up, it felt incredible. I could definitely feel an improvement in my tendon, the injury. So I am going to keep that in my back pocket. I may extend the fast longer to get more HGH response. I read there is a law of diminishing returns, but I am going to continue pushing fasting at least 24 hours. a few times a week. I'm cutting, so this doesn't really bother me anyway. It's just going to help speed along the fat loss process anyway. And some studies also show that the increased HGH protects muscle. So I see it as a win-win. I don't see any losing in this. And then for long-term health, fasting is great. Training. So we just got the nutrient protocol and the plan protocol for healing. So what about training? I'm not disabled. Like it's not like it's a more prominent injury. I can still move my shoulder, none of this hurts. It's just I can't pull as much. That's about it. It's just I can't pull things towards me and I'm limited on my ability to internally rotate. Everything else is fine. So when you get injured, I think the first thing to do is don't think about like, ah, damn, I can't train this group anymore, and you get stuck in this way. You need to adapt. There's plenty of other things you can do to work around an injury and make tons of progress. Okay, you don't have to be stuck in this mindset of, well, I can't do what I originally could, so I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to sit around. So I can't do any pulling, but I can do bicep work, and I can still do some rear delt work. And I'm then obviously the high rep rows, I'm getting some lat stimulation, so I'm not going to totally lose any back muscle. And then everything else is fine. I can still press. However, I am changing how I press. I'm doing everything slower so I don't aggravate anything, and I'm giving my entire body kind of a break. One of the ideas that I had was, well, let me just first by saying this. When it comes to recovery, my training plan going forward, one of the biggest things, one of the biggest failures I've seen, and there's studies to show this, is you get hurt, so your performance drops down, and then you begin to see results of recovery, and you begin to feel better. Maybe you feel like you're close to 100%. So to make up for lost time, you jump right back in, pedal to the metal, and you get injured again because you didn't really let the tendons heal. It takes, according to some studies, around 2 months, 2 months for the tendon to be back to where it is and to fully heal, and sometimes longer. Okay, depending on how bad the tear is. So knowing that, we obviously have some kind of time scale here where it's like, hey, even if my recovery is top notch, 2 months might be about as long as it takes for me to fully heal. So that's one thing, but you still have to progress. Okay, you can't just stay at the same band tension or the same weight your entire training cycle. You got to increase it somehow. So one of the things I'm going based off of is Christian Thibodeau's rule for it's 20%. I remember him telling in an article, he said, if you increase strength 20% or more in a span of 4 to 6 weeks, you need to stop. You need to let it consolidate. If you keep pushing, you're going to get hurt. I pushed past 20% in that time period, and look where I'm at. I really do believe it. Anytime I've like aggravated something too, I've broken this rule of increasing strength too quickly in a lift, any kind of lift. Okay. Um, so I figure I can apply this to an injured body part as well. So my plan is for the rows, the therapeutic rows, I'm only going to increase intensity by 20% at most over the course of 6 weeks. So it's going to be a slow rebuild back to where I was, but I don't want to take any chances. I want to come back stronger. I want these things to come back like steel cables. I don't want the same shit I had before. I want a really powerful integumentary system. Okay, that's the improvement. I want better. I don't want what I had before. I'm not trying to get injured again. Okay, I have my sights set on bigger things, not just this. So I'm going to abide by the 20% rule. Slower reps, more reps, so lower intensity. I'm giving my body every chance it can get to heal. So the last thing I want to talk about in terms of my progression is the mentality factor of, well, I still want to push hard. I don't just want to like regress and not really improve on anything else. And then also, it's hard to resist pushing yourself further. So something I thought of was, why don't I impose a grip limit? Everybody, when they're trying to build muscle, they'll put on straps to prevent their hands from giving out so the other muscles can get more of a stimulus. But why is it if you get injured, why don't we make it harder on the hands? So this is the limiting factor. So I can't overstress anything up here. This is the limiting factor. Okay. So I've changed my training. So any type of stuff where I'm pressing, pulling, or anything like that, I've made the handles very thick, or I do like a pinch or towels or something to make it harder for me to hold on to so that the weight I can use is far less. Okay. I see this as a win-win. I don't see this as any kind of downside whatsoever. I see it as a chance for my body to fully heal, and I also see it as a chance to build an iron vise of a grip. Studies have shown stronger hands means less injuries, longer lifespan. This is a huge investment, and I see it as kind of like fate, maybe. You know, recently I stumbled across this guy, Average Joe, AVG. I'll put it in the description. He's talking to me about grip and got me interested. And then I found this guy, Old School Strength, and I'll also link his channel in the description below. Huge grip guys, really interested in grip. And it just so happens that I've met these people and then I got injured. And it's like, well, train grip. There you go. Train your grip and you'll become stronger. You'll let your body heal. It's perfect. It's a good combo. So I'm very pleased that I met them. Very thankful. A lot of things to be thankful for. So I'm going to wrap this up and just talk about mentality really quick when you get injured. If you get injured, the first thing I want you to do is just sit down and take a breath. Okay? Don't freak out. It's okay. It will be okay. Tell yourself it's going to be okay. Don't get frustrated. You need to relax. You need to calm yourself down and then make a plan. You know you're injured. Now you got to make a plan. Be smart about it. Um, Whenever I got injured, again, kind of like fate, you sometimes feel bad for yourself. You're like, why me? This sucks. Like, I can't believe this happened to me. I started kind of feeling that way. And then I was on social media and this post came up. It was this poor girl and she couldn't, her legs, she was disabled from the waist down and only her upper body worked. And here she was doing pull ups. She was making it work. And she had a far worse disability than I did, right? I can still function, everything still functions. I should be thankful that I even am able to function at the level that I am. So when you get injured, exercise a little bit of thankfulness, calm yourself down, make a plan, research it, think it through, and execute it. Okay? Find ways to enjoy the process. Don't get sad. Don't get disheartened. It's going to be okay. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it helps. If any one of you are injured, you can find ways to apply these things to yourself. Furthermore, if there's anything that I left out that you think is really important for recovery, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm using everything I possibly can to get myself back on the road. So yeah, if you have any tips whatsoever, do not be afraid to write down in the comments what you think. Appreciate the views, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. Just really appreciate all the help and all the support. You guys are wonderful. Really feel like I have an awesome friend group. You guys are all fantastic. So have a good Friday. Peace.